Look at us all fancy.
Yeah.
This is very different from the last time we did this.
Certainly made some upgrades.
This is awesome.
Anyway, I
All
guess
First question.
a lot of questions I sometimes get asked by other agency owners.
Oh, really?
Who I guess look at PWD and that, they may be smaller, is
Sure.
why, historically we don't really enter awards.
No.
There was one year I think we did. I don't know we went all that well, but why do we not enter awards?
Well, we did a couple times. So we've done Campaign Brief twice, from what I remember. The truth is we have nothing against awards at all. It's always time. We are pretty busy majority of the time. Well,
that's an underestimate.
No, it's very. But I think the biggest issue that we have is that we kind of get the information at last minute. And it's not like anybody's fault. It's just we always know it's coming. And we always know that, all right, we've got 2 weeks before we have to submit our work and everything. So we start scrambling and we start putting our portfolio together and we start looking at the year and we start putting, people are starting to write synopsises and we're starting to go to, every department has their job. Creatives trying to get all the creative together to really make it look amazing. AMs are trying to figure out all the ROI from that year and, trying to write synopsises and trying to get it going. And then we're trying to do this culture thing at the same time. So we're rallying people, pulling them off their desks, coming over to be like, let's take a photo, let's do some video and try to get this ready. And that's great because we all rally really well. And at the end of the day, I think it's really cool for us to look back on that year. Even if we don't end up entering it that time, it's a nice thing for the company to see the things that we've accomplished through that year. Yep. The truth is, and this is just me, I don't put any stock in awards. I never have. And the reason why is just because I feel they have their place. And there are amazing agencies out there who all enter those awards and they win and they have an amazing night and that's awesome. But I've never really put a lot of stock in it in the sense that I would rather have a client that is super successful, that we do some amazing work. The client feels like they've been looked after and we have a lot of really cool stories to tell. And I would rather have that. That's an award to me.
100%. And I think it's the same for me. Awards, as you say, there's the admin time, there's that.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of the time, as an agency, kind of like a builder, you've got the worst house in the street.
Sure.
Often we neglect our own work, and our own marketing, because of course there's that commercial pressure of working with clients and making sure they're getting results.
Right.
And for me, the biggest personal satisfaction is that client saying, I'm getting amazing returns.
Yeah,
I'm really happy.
totally.
The results have blown my way. Customer service is great. That to me is the award, rather than me getting a plaque or something.
Right.
Collect dust.
And again, the accolade is great, and I do think the agencies that do enter in and they get the awards, it's an awesome experience. And the 2 times we went, we work really hard. We all go out to have a nice evening. Maybe we'll see our name up on the board. I think we got nominated a couple times. We all clap, and it's great. But again, I would rather have a shelf full of products of client work that we've done and things that we've created than any kind of trophies or plaques. I just feel like looking back on that shelf and seeing all that work, it doesn't need an award. And back in the day, when you won an award, you would put it up on your website, Agency of the Year or winner of 5 golds and this kind of thing. And I think it had merit then. I don't know if it does as much now. I feel there's so much work out there and there's so many clients and there's so many different ways to try to create credibility as an agency that it's only a fraction as part of it.
And it's not a standard product.
Right.
So how can you compare apples with apples?
Sure.
It's being such a creative process. It's incredibly subjective.
Yeah.
And I guess this sort of leans on to why we don't do tenders.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And, we see these tenders coming through and they're massive, but just the sheer amount of time and effort it takes to respond to a tender.
Yeah.
I submitted an RFQ recently. It's 75 pages that I've got to put together. So that's literally 48 hours of my life gone.
Right.
And that you've probably got a 1 in 10, 1 in 15 chance of winning that. I feel for us where we are in the ecosystem of agencies in WA, dealing direct with the person that actually is driving that business forward is quite nice because you've got that
100%
loop.
Yeah.
And tenders I've sort of felt have been often a bit of a parade, a bit of a show. There's already somebody that they've got in mind, but to tick the compliance box, they've got to go and get tenders from 3 or 4 other people, which tends to be the case.
And again, it's the same with awards as well, where it's a mystery. So you have no idea what is expected. Yeah. So you always are trying to up yourself to the point where you're like, okay, well, we're going to do something way over the top because we're going to be like, we're a creative agency, so we want to make sure that we present ourselves as a creative agency. But then you're like, well, is minimalism the right way to go? Is it more kind of like get to the point? You know, you create this amazing reel that's 2 minutes long and it's a hybrid of amazing work and culture. And then you realize, okay, maybe they only want a 20-second spot where it's just like, hey, we're this company.
Yeah.
You know, thank you for looking at our work. It's really hard. And I don't want to always kind of be wondering, are we doing it right or wrong? I just want to kind of be like, look, put blinders on, do it our way. And then whatever happens, happens. And that's why I don't put a lot of stock in it, because it's not going to change anything in the end. We're still going to get clients that we really enjoy working with. We're still going to be doing amazing work throughout the year.
It's a good point, though. Like, how much merit and stock does a client put into an award?
I don't know.
Because to them, it's meaningless.
I don't know.
Because they have no context of what that actually means.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you won a Grammy or a BAFTA, everybody,
you know what that is.
Highly revered.
Totally.
You know, I guess awards in this industry, you know, plaques. Another company I'm involved with recently, we just won an award yesterday, and I sort of looked at it and was like,
yeah,
you know, how much, like, is that actually going to generate more business, more leads for me? It's pretty hard to tell.
I think it's also more like an agency thing. I think it's for the agencies. Yeah. I think that everybody's just kind of coming together, and it's a way to celebrate being an agency and looking at work and seeing what people have been doing. And, you know, you get that final, and the winner is, and the agency of the year is, and everyone gets on stage and they hold the frame. And I think it's just one of those things that helps kind of amp the agencies up and get people excited. Yeah. And I don't know if it's and obviously the clients come too. And I remember seeing clients sitting at tables and everything, and they feel a lot of pride. And I think that's great. I just don't know if it's just not something that we need to put a lot of stock in. So, I mean, that's probably the biggest way to kind of explain it.
Cool.
For me, anyway.
Let's get on to
but I'm not the majority rule. Other people might. I know Manny, one of our account managers, loves awards, and he wants to get us back into the award kind of circuit. And I have no issues with that. And I always tell him, I'm like, if you want to do it, we'll just get it sorted, make sure it's structured, and we'll have a look at it. But, you know, if we're trying to enter awards all through the year, it's not feasible.
It's a distraction.
Yeah.